Bryson Rouse, and I go to Georgia Tech College.
Sam Freitas, I'm from University of Tampa. I think when the things first started like blowing up, we were on spring break. So it was like towards the end of our spring break and we were out of practice just trying to like figure out what was going on. And our coach was really up in the air. Like some schools had already canceled like their athletics for the rest of the year. Some schools had already moved online, and we were kind of the last school like in our conference really that moved online. And I think our first deadline was 2 weeks, and then we just kind of like, as things progressively got worse, we ended up having like 5 or 6 students come back from spring break with the virus. So that kind of forced us to go all online.
So they took it on pretty good. Our spring break is that first April to like May or March 3rd, and then so we went to spring break, came back, went to school for a week, and then through there we kind of were hearing that they may cancel classes. They started, GGC doesn't do anything it's never done anything online, so then they started having after school mandatory meetings for all the teachers to kind of try to learn a base for online classes. And so we went to school for 1 week right after spring break, and then they canceled it for 2 weeks. They just canceled it, so they didn't implement it. They didn't say we're going to go online or not, and then after that 2 weeks, then they said we're going to go fully online.
I mean, when you're in season, you know, you have a certain amount of time to get all your schoolwork done really. So with like when I'm in practice and that kind of stuff, I do all my stuff in the morning. I do my homework before my classes, and I'm usually in class till 11 or 12, and then out at the field from 1 to 5, and then lift at 6. So it's definitely completely different. Like now I just do work whenever, work out whenever. It's not a routine really. So it's definitely more difficult now, but figure it out.
So my daily routine was already kind of similar. So when I was in school, I was just going to school, work, and then right after that, the gym. So the only thing that's really not there is work. So I'll wake up, I go to my classes, and in between my classes at school, I mean, on my Monday, Wednesdays, I'd have like an hour and a half, hour 45 break. And then so the time adjustment wasn't that much. I still had a lot of time, and then, you know, I'm able just to kind of still just be at home. It wasn't that big of an adjustment when it comes to being stuck at home, just besides, you know, being bored.
I mean, it's definitely nice to have. I know a lot of guys on our team that are struggling to find places to go, but just having some free weights and a bench and treadmill and just a couple of machines is definitely makes it a lot easier just to be able to do different stuff than just body weight.
So free time, I've actually picked up a little side jobs where I helped helping like to like groceries to some people that need, and other than that, I'm just trying to handle it just as like everybody else. You know, sometimes I talk to my friends a lot, FaceTime them, and then I watch a lot of YouTube. And on top of that, I really do tackle my studying, because it's hard. It was a little bit harder during the school year because you work out and you get tired. Here you have really nothing but time, so I do tackle a lot of extra schoolwork, do quizzes in advance. Just prepare for that, but then, you know, just try to tackle it just like as much as everybody else. Just try to keep yourself as occupied as possible.
And I know a lot of states are still like highly like self-quarantining, but Georgia, with their recent like announcements of coming, like releasing a lot of those restrictions, I think it's gonna get worse for a little bit. I really hope it doesn't get too much worse that they have to restart this whole like stay-at-home order, but I think it's a possibility. I don't think it's going to get better immediately. So
I think it's definitely going to get better. I definitely think a lot of people are going to get it. I wouldn't be surprised because they're doing more testing. So I think it's going down, but then people are still saying, oh, but it's going up because, well, we're doing more testing. So I think it's going to be a weird sense of where the media is kind of like, oh, there's more and more people, but in reality, it's still kind of going down because of the testing. So I think for a while it's going to have this weird look where it's just growing and growing and growing, and the more people that have it are just there. But I think it's going to have that weird makeshift thing where it goes up, but then it really just drastically goes down very fast. The worst part, obviously, is just the big like stallment of like your life. You know, you're used to, everybody has a routine in their life, and when that comes to just immediate halt, that is a hard thing to adjust. You know, not being able to work, not making as much money as I want, you know, not being able to see my friends. My birthday plans were canceled, you know, and just not really being able to have the freedom to just go out on a weekend and like see your friends and do that is kind of sad. You know, like my girlfriend's far away, so that's tough, you know, and just having that.
Just I guess being like away from a lot of people. Like I know I was expecting to be with a lot of friends down at school for a lot longer, and enjoying like being in my apartment and being in Florida in the spring is a lot of fun. Being able to go to the beach and stuff after weekend series. So just missing out on that.
I think it brings good because when you're with yourself and I get to be with my family, get to connect like that, I get to really kind of prioritize things. I'm starting to look at things a different way because when you're going through your normal routine, you're kind of just going at 100 miles an hour. You don't see some of the things that you used to be doing, spending money on like fast food and all this other stuff. You just start to kind of notice other things that maybe you were prioritizing that you shouldn't. And you just get to learn a little bit more about yourself when you're kind of like isolated from everybody else.
I don't know. I guess I would say like enhancing my like technology skills, like working remotely and that kind of thing. Like we're using Zoom and new softwares and trying to kind of having to figure out how to do things not together has definitely helped. And then obviously spending more time with family. I'll see you guys.
All right.